What's up, you guys? Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to BODHI. My name is JJ. I have the pleasure of teaching Tamal today, 60-minute vinyasa flow. We're going to start how we usually end our class in a nice Phalapi Shavasana. So you can lie down, sprawl out, let your eyes close, and just come home into your body. Anchor your attention into your body. Right. And then please welcome a very long, slow, deep breath into the nose. The belly will swell, the ribs will expand, and the breath fills all the way up to the upper chambers of your lungs. And then open your mouth and let it go. So stretch your arms back over your head and reach your legs out in front of you. Try to pull yourself apart, get as long as you can, and then hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. So keep your right leg in towards your chest and extend your left leg forward right above the mat. Right, so spread the ball of your left foot, sort of ignite your toes. Keep lengthening the left leg bones out of your hip socket. And we're going to switch. So just bring your left knee into your chest and hit the eject button on that right leg. It just shoots out of your hip. And relax your arms by the sides, just on the mat, and then switch your legs again. Right leg pulls in, left leg extends long. And then switch. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling, lift your shoulders and your head up, and switch your legs. And then switch your legs again. So we'll do this for the whole hour. Right? You're going to want to feel your low back imprinting into the floor. And really close your front ribs together as you lift your chin up towards the ceiling. And if you want a little more for this last little bit, reach your arms over your head just to make it a little more demanding. And as we pretend to enjoy this for a few more rounds. And we're going to meet with both of your legs forward. Nice little handstand. Pull your low back to the mat. Try to lift your shoulders up off the floor. And then it's over. Just relax. Tamal's done. Hug your knees into your chest, however you like to get to tabletop position. So you find yourself on all fours with your shoulders parked over the wrists and the hips right over the knees. We're going to cycle through a few rounds of cat-cow. So initiate this from your sacrum. Let the sacrum go down, and then the low back rounds, the mid back rounds, the upper back rounds, and the head drops. And then now initiate it with that upper vertebra between the ears. Lift the head up first, and that has a chain reaction all the way down the spine. And then continue a few times by yourself. Breath is the movement. Movement is the breath. Close your eyes if you want. And use this as an opportunity to just take stock, run through the inventory of your body, see what you're working with today. And we will meet in neutral pelvis, natural curves in the spine. Your right foot is going to step to the plank position. And your left arm's going to reach forward to handshake fashion out in front of you. Yeah, and just pull the left arm and the right leg apart so much that that right foot lifts up off the floor. Yes. And we're going to switch. Place your left hand down, place the right knee down, step the left foot to the back of the mat, and then extend your right arm forward to handshake fashion. So you're reaching through the inseam of the back leg and reaching through the inseam of the front arm so much that that left leg just hovers. And when you reach through the inseams, that should create this zippering effect from the pubic bone all the way up to your bottom sternum. And it's over. Place your left knee down, place the right hand down, tuck your toes under, hover your knees right above the mat. It's like $100 bill, just slides right under the knees. And you got this wide shelf in your upper back. Right, as the hands push down, that rebounds energy up the arms. Those inner arms lift high. Keep the knees at a hover and go back, pull your hips towards your heels with those knees staying right above the floor. Yes. It's like a little turbo child's pose. And go to downward facing dog, lift your hips up and back. Lift your heels high. Lift your pubic bone up. Yes, there you go. And then exaggerate the tops of your inner thighs spiraling towards the wall behind you. It's almost like you're trying to go pigeon-toed, but you don't quite go pigeon-toed. And can you maintain the height of your hips as you pull your heels back away from your toes? Stretch those heels back. They'll go down because of that. You're stretching your toes and your heels apart. And as you very firmly root through your inner knuckles, right, wrap those outer shoulders, those triceps towards the ground. Right. Contain the bottom borders of your rib cage. And as your hips pull back, right, the crown of your head leads the way to plank pose. As you breathe in, shift forward to plank pose. Hover your right foot off the mat just to drop. Yeah. Maintaining the level pelvis, that right hip will tend to sag when the right foot lifts. We want to just keep that right hip in line with the left hip. And then place the right foot down. Hover the left foot right above the mat. Can you lift those inner shoulders up? There you go, Tamil. Place the left foot down. Now, the crown of your head resists forward, right, as your thigh bones pull your hips back to downward facing dog. So you're always going in two different directions. Right? Resisting the hips back, inhale, come forward to plank pose. And then crown the head resists forward as you exhale, pull your hips back, downward facing dog. So inhale, drift to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. So keep your heels glued back. Keep reaching your heels behind you. And just bend your arms for chaturanga. Exhale, lower halfway. Pause. Lift your right foot up. Surprise. Place your right foot down. Lift your left foot up. Place your left foot down and kerplunk. Point the toes back behind you. Place the forehead down. So without your right hip lifting up, just lift up your right leg bone. Lift up your right leg. Extension, hip extension in that right side. Yeah, place it down. And then reach your left leg so far behind you that it happens to pick up a little bit. You should feel the front of your left hip untangle. Yeah, place your left foot down. Hover your hands off the floor. Right? And as you draw the weight to the pubic bone, you're just going to find a little back bend here, a little cobra pose, Shalabhasana. You want to always release that sacrum towards your heels. The sacrum is going to push your heels back, and then your legs will lift up because of that. Nice. Couple breaths. Feel all those little muscles along the back of your spine fire. And then it's over. Place your forehead down. Palms are flat. Tuck your toes under. So keep your forehead on the floor, if you're all right doing that. Now keep your head down and your toes on the floor, and your middle's just going to lift up. So your head stays down, the sacrum lifts up, your legs lift up, ribs lift up. There you go. And come up to plank pose, inhale. Pull back, down dog, exhale. So hover your right foot off the mat. It's going to stay in the same line as the left foot. That right foot just hovers. Now lift your left heel as high as you can. With a straight right leg, bring your right toes towards your right wrist. You don't have to touch. Try to keep that foot up, Tamil. Straight leg. All right, step back. Downward facing dog. Right. So the action of you pulling your left thigh bone up into your hip socket is going to hover that left foot right beside the right foot. And just for fun, we didn't do it last time, but keep the heel down and now try to bring that straight left leg towards your left wrist. How hard is that? Now the heel can lift. All right, step back, downward facing dog. All right, walk your feet halfway up the mat. Right, so keep the palms rooted, lift your heels as high as they can go. So as the triceps firm in, pull your inner shoulders apart. And then walk your feet a little farther forward. Keeping the hands flat, the arms straight, lift the heels as high as they can go. Can you come up to just the big toes? Oh, can you hover your right foot up off the mat? Place it down. Can you hover the left foot up off the mat? Can that right foot come up too? Can both of them come up? Walk your feet all the way up to the front. Yep, feet outer hips width apart. Yep, let the head drop, forward fold, Uttanasana. All right, take your hands to your calves. Right. Generous bend in the knees. Push the backs of your calves forward so your chest draws to the thighs. Keeping that connection, it's the backs of the legs lifting up. Where your hamstring muscle attaches to the sitting bone, can you lift that part up? The skull dangles, the spine just spills out of the bowl of the pelvis. And you get a nice release for the entire posterior chain of your body. Right. Lace up your fingers behind your back. Reach your knuckles up and over. Switch the lace of your hands. That opposite pinky comes in front. Unhinge the jaws. Drop your hands down to the mat. With your knees bent, round the lowest part of your back. Just ragdoll up, piling the vertebrae right on top of one another. The head's the last to rise. Your feet can be, a comfortable distance apart. Or if you like, you can bring your big toes to touch and separate your heels a little bit. Just root down through the feet. Right, lift the spine up, lift the crown of the head up. Your palms face forward, so you got external rotation in the upper arm bones. And you're going to circle your arms out and up as you breathe in. Look up behind the thumbs, and then go forward to fold all your breath out of your body. Right, inhale, half lift, heart forward, shoulder blades go back. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. And just pause. Let's get light on your fingertips. Right, grip your right hip in and lift your left leg bone up as high as you can as your arms reach towards the front of the room. If that's too much, you can reach your arms back behind you. Right, but you're just trying to create as much space as you possibly can from the back heel through the roof of your mouth. Yeah, you're trying to separate your hips and your spine. And it's over, just like that. Hands to the mat, step your left foot to the front. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Step your right foot back, exhale. So that left outer hip hugs in towards the midline. Right, the back of your right inner thigh is lifting up. Cinch in the waistband to support your arms going forward or backwards, your call. Just a couple breaths here. Stamp that front heel down. Pull your spine forward out of your back leg, and then it's over. Hands down. Step your right foot forward. Inhale, half lift. Step your left foot backwards, exhale. Right, light on your fingers. Reach your arms towards the front of the room, and then place your left palm to the mat. Reach your right arm towards the ceiling. So this left inner shoulder is rolling to the outer shoulder. External rotation in the left arm. You're going to keep that pillar of support in the left arm. Turn both sets of feet to the right, so you turn to the knife edge of the back foot. You're going to sneak in a side plank. That right foot just sneaks back. Vashisthasana, side plank pose. Right? So you're pushing the floor away from the serratus muscles. Those muscles live on your side ribs. And get those shoulder blades to spread apart. There you go. This right shoulder blade is pushing your right arm up higher. Tamal, can you lean your throat back so your back of the head tries to get in line with the back of the pelvis. Okay, so a nice slow transition. We're going to be on your right forearm. So look down, place your right forearm to the floor, turn your heels to the right, and reach your left arm up for baby side plank on that right side. So do your best to get the weight into the inner right elbow. All right. Let's imagine that you're flat against the wall behind you. Let those shoulder blades go apart. Throat leans back. And nice and slow, look down, place your left forearm down. Forearm plank pose, Tamal's favorite. So create this feeling of pulling yourself apart. Right? Your sacrum releases towards the heels, your heels reach back, right? And your spine pulls forward equal to that. And we just simmer here for a couple breaths and let it cook. Turn your heart forward just a little bit. There you go. Right, plank pose. Place your hands where your elbows are. Pull your hips back, downward facing dog pose. Right. So, lift your heels high. Right, bend your knees, pull your hips back, and when the breath empties out, then you walk or spring forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we rise, reach, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms lift, your lats even lift, and then hinge and fold. Exhale. Inhale, heart forward, right foot backwards. Inhale, reach your arms out in front. Exhale, right palm plants, left arm up. Inner shoulder to the outer shoulder. Shoulder blades, they slide into your back pockets. Right? Keep that pillar in your right arm. Look to the floor. Turn your feet to the left so you go to the knife edge of the back foot. Stack it up, side plank. On your right side. Right? So the entire circumference of your right palm pushes down, but the right wrist is lifting up. The right elbow lifts off the wrist. The right shoulder lifts off the elbow. Shoulder blades pull apart, your chest stretches apart. And so let your left waist lift up this waist a little bit. Fill that out, there you go. Right, so find that internal navigation system, and you're gonna very slowly place your left forearm to the floor, swivel the heels to the left, and reach your right arm up for a little side plank on that left forearm. So left forearm, pull it towards your feet. Your feet scrub towards the left forearm. And you just find a shred of joy behind it, just a shred. As you look down, place your right forearm to the floor. Same principles as last time we did this, they just carry over the same thing, same pose. And just wait till Tamal starts to shake like a cell phone vibrating. And then you'll walk your hands up to plank pose. Pull your hips back, downward facing dog pose. So find the potential of a handstand in your arms. Those arms are as straight as they've ever been before. Now lift your head way up above your shoulders. Lift your head higher than you think. Yeah, bend your knees, pull the hips back, step or fly up to the front. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we rise, reach, look up. Exhale, pull it into the heart. Here we're gonna flow. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, bow. Inhale, open. Plant your hands flat, step, or go direct to chaturanga. Inhale, roll over the feet. Exhale, pull back, downward facing dog. Bend your knees. Hips pull back, look forward, and launch yourself up in between your hands. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, fold in. Push your feet down to stand up. Inhale. Exhale, pull it into the heart. One more. Inhale, arms lift. Keep that feeling of lifting as you go down. Exhale. Inhale, open up. Handstand in your arms, step or shoot back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. All right, please come to plank pose. Center of the shoulders arrive over the center of the wrist. All right, bring your right knee into your chest. Right knee, right hand down, right knee, it's fine. So resist your arms back and really curl your right hip under to bring that right knee as high as you can into the belly. And the belly runs away from that right thigh. Option to stay, option to pop up to your left fingertips. Option to reach your left arm forward without your right hip going down. Lift that right hip up, tomorrow. Right hip up, there. All right, left hand down, three-legged dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step forward. Drop the back knee, but keep the back toes tucked. Bring your hands to your pelvis. Place your scalp on the ceiling. Whew. How we doing? Good? All right, so you got the neutral pelvis. The neutral pelvis is that position that gives your spine the most possible length up out of that. So you're going to put a lot of weight in your right heel. Your back knee is just going to hover up off the floor. Yeah. And we can, at home, let's lift the front rim of the pelvis up. Right? Couple that with your back ribs lifting up. Right? Lift your arms up. Your arms start at the sides of your waist, so you're lifting up from there. Right? Find a square in that front leg. Now here's the challenge. Can you keep that upright pelvis as you start to work that left leg straight? So you're trying to straighten your left leg against the neutral pelvis. And you're really working some length into those left hip flexors, quadriceps, maybe the iliopsoas system. Yeah. Reach up past your fingers. If you reach up enough, they'll touch. Look up, breathe in, exhale, hands down, step back, plank pose. Bring your left knee into your chest. Yeah. So really curling your left hip underneath of the plank pose. And that's going to put the work in the low belly. You should feel that low belly just recycling energy. Right? So option to pop up to your right fingertips. Option to reach your right arm forward. Right hand down, three-legged dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step forward. Back knee down. Back toes will stay tucked. Bring your hands to your hips. So bury the front heel. And your back knee is just going to lift up a drop. Right? And when the back knee lifts, your attention is going to run to that front leg doing all the work. And release the sacrum away from the lumbar. Right? Contain the front bottom borders of your ribs. And then from the sides of your waist, stretch your arms up over your head. It's like your lats are lifting up. Your lats start all the way down here. Wide, broad back. Right? Now, can we keep the sacrum releasing down as you start to work that right inner thigh up against the weight of the pelvis? You really recommit to the strength in the legs. That's going to motivate some length up through the spine. Maybe look up. Maybe the palms kiss over your head as you breathe in. Exhale, hands down. Step back. Lower slow, chaturanga. Inhale, Ardha Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Look forward. Bend your knees. Step or spring forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Drop your hips back. Lift your arms up. Chair pose. Inhale. Yes. And your hips stay heavy as you straighten your legs, reach up. Exhale, pull it into the heart. All right, so inhale, chair pose, sit low. All right, so lift your heels up. So we're going to go all the way down. Place your butt on the floor. Lift your feet up to the height of the knees. Navasana, the boat pose. From here, we're going to lower halfway down. If you want, arms can go up or back over your head for the most. Right? And reach your arms forward like a jackknife. Come right up back to the boat pose. When you inhale, half boat, lower down. And then exhale, come up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, come up. So see chair pose in your mind. Pull your heels towards your butt. Use your hands if you need to. Chair pose. Fold, exhale. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Step or go direct to chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, roll over. Exhale, pull back. Step your right foot forward. Just one breath, crescent pose. High lunge, inhale, go for it. Go for the gold. Exhale, hands down, step back. Optional chaturanga. You can skip them if they become too much. Exhale, lifts the hips and steps the left foot to the front. Yeah, root the feet, inhale, stretch the arms over your head. Just one breath, go for it. Exhale, hands down, step back. Chaturanga. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, Ardha. Couple breaths here. So lift your collarbones up, look forward, bend your knees, empty the breath, spring, inhale, open, exhale, close, hips drop, inhale, arms lift, chair pose, lift your heels up, place your butt on the mat, boat pose, lower halfway, come on back up, lower halfway, come on back up, down, up. So here's the chair pose. Pull your feet in. Come on up. And fold. Exhale. Inhale. Open. Step or float back. Chaturanga. Inhale. Ardha. Exhale. Right foot to the front. Just one breath. High lunge. Inhale. Exhale. Hands down. Step back. Chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale, left foot forward. Just one breath. Inhale, reach up beyond your fingertips. Exhale, hands down, step back. Inhale. Exhale. Whew. Right, place the knees down, please. Place your forearms down, please. So interlace your fingers, Tamal. You can tuck that bottom pinky in if you want, hide that bottom pinky, and very firmly drive that ulna wrist point down. It's the outer wrist point in English, right? And then feel the weight in the inner elbows and let that lift up your inner shoulders really high. Yep. Step your right foot to the plank position. Step your left foot to the plank position. Try to put more weight in your wrist, and you're going to walk your feet towards your elbows for the dolphin pose. Yes. So the more you press the inner elbows down, the more that's going to lift up your inner shoulders. Now lift up your sternum. There you go. Now lift your head way up, Tamal. Way up. It's like you're taking a sip of water out of a straw or something. And now you're going to bring your chin towards the knuckles, maybe even past the knuckles. Yeah, and then exhale, pull back. So lift your head way up, and then shift your chin towards the thumb knuckles, maybe past them, and then exhale, pull back. Yeah, well, there you go. Keep that wide. Lift your head way up. Shift the chin forward, and then pull back. Let's just do one more. And back. Drop the knees, child's pose. Yeah. I was like, what are you doing in Wilmington? Go back to Los Angeles. Yeah, so release your hips back and walk your hands as far forward as you can. Breathe into the side ribs. Breathe into the backs of your lungs. Come to tabletop. Just to come to downward facing dog pose. Please step your right foot forward. Stand up, bring your hands to your hips. All right. So you're going to reach your scalp forward. You're going to bring your torso parallelish to the floor. Right. Find the support of your low belly, and you're going to come up to Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana C. Yes. So as you ground through the four corners of your standing foot, let that jump your right hip off of your leg. Yes. Right. As that right hip lifts off the right leg, that left leg shoots out of the left hip. If you want to, bring your hands to your heart. Lift your front body into the back body. If you want more, reach your arms forward. It's crazy hard. Right. Now you're going to keep the lift of this left leg. Bend your right knee as much as you can. Keep lifting that left leg up. Bend that right leg as much as you can. And then stand straight up at the front of your mat. Bring your left knee into your chest. Ah, yeah. Bring that left knee all the way up. Take your hands under the left leg. Melt the left hip down. And the origin of this movement comes from the sacrum. You're going to reach your left heel forward. It's like your back pocket slides all the way under and through the heel. Reach your arms up. All right. Lift your spirits up. Now, eagle pose. Cross your left leg over. Cross your left arm under. All right. Lift your elbows up. And your hips go back and down. Hips and your elbows, they pull apart. And try this out. Can you round your torso over that top leg and just hunker down here? You pulling the hips back. Now we're just going to stand up and fly away. So stand up, unravel yourself, Karate Kid out of there if you want. Feet together. All right, so you're going to give yourself some space at the front of your mat. I'm going to walk you into crow pose. Give Tamal a little breather. So let's come to chair pose. We'll approach it from this angle today. Lift your heels up. Bring your knees hips width apart. And then plug your armpits on top of your kneecaps. Plant the hands to the floor. All right, turn your hands into your feet. Lift your hips up about 3 inches, Tamal. Yep, and squeeze yourself up. Hug in to lift 1 or 2 feet up. Yes. So nice. Last 3 here. Round the entire spine. Last 2. Try to lift your knees off your arms. Go for it. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Please step your left foot forward. Bring the hands to the pelvis, stand straight up. Right. So reach your scalp away from the back heel. Get as long as you can through the midline. The chest is going to shift forward. You're going to go right over the front leg. Right. And come up in one piece to Warrior 3, the shape of a capital T. And as Tamal would say, when that left big toe mound lifts up, you start to act like you're walking on hot coals. So you want to keep that left big toe mound gripping down. Right. As the foot pushes down, the left leg lifts up. Yeah, the left hip lifts up off the leg. That right leg is endlessly lengthening back, spine reaching forward. Maybe the hands come to the heart. Option 37, those arms reach forward. But let's keep the energy and lift of that right leg. You're going to bend the left knee as much as you can. Really bend the left leg a lot. Keep lifting that right leg up, Tamal. Yes. Bend the left leg some more. All right. And then stand straight up. Bring your right knee into your chest. So take your hands under your right leg for a second. Pull your right leg down into your hands. So the important leg to get straight and keep straight is the left leg. We don't want the left leg to buckle as that right heel reaches out in front of you. Yes, arms can go up. Yeah, and we're gonna wrap it into the eagle pose. Right leg over, right arm under, elbows lift up, hips fall back. And let's work this flexion here. You're going to start to fold right on top of that right thigh. Keep the hips pulling back and just lift your torso up. And stand up, unravel yourself. So you give yourself some space at the front of your mat for your hands. Let's do another crow pose. That's how we learn it. We learn through repetition. So chair pose. Heels lift. Right. So press your feet together, right, as you drop your armpits right on the kneecaps, right on the knees. As the knees peek around the corner of your shoulders. Butt up, 1 foot, maybe 2 feet, spread the toes. Everything's participating for you. Yeah. Last 3. Last 2. 1.5. 1.25. Shoot it back, launch it back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay. So walk your feet halfway up the mat. Right. Let's try to find a little chair pose in handstand. So just like we're gonna do like 5 little hops or so. So those arms straight, right? Grounding through all the knuckles. And as you bend your knees, lift your heels, and you're just gonna kick your butt with your heels when you jump your hips over your shoulders. Nice. And you can come back down, right? So let's do this 5 times. Or if you happen to get stuck upside down, give yourself a handstanding ovation. You can clap your feet. Hey. 1 more time, right? Try to get stuck up there. Yeah, and we're all gonna meet with our feet all the way up at the front of the mat, in between your hands. Bring the hands to the pelvis, stand up. Step your right foot all the way to the back of the mat. When did we start? All right, so straighten both of your legs. Your back heel's gonna go down, so you can bump that back foot in at just like 6 inches. We're gonna come to pyramid pose here, so. Lace up your fingers behind your back. Yeah, press the palms of the hands together, but try to pull your arms apart from your shoulders. Right, use the inhale to lift up the front spine. Exhale, just come halfway forward, just halfway. Yes. Couple breaths here. Taking the skin of your left hip back. And then turning your right hip towards that left foot. Keep reaching forward to fold, to drape your torso right over that left leg like a coat on a hanger. Yeah. So don't really obsess about what your hips are doing. Just focus on taking your left thigh bone and plugging it back into your hip socket as you stand really strong in that back foot. Really commit to standing strong in that back foot. Bring your hands to your hips, hug your elbows in, stand all the way up. We're going to switch. Step your right foot forward. Step your left foot 3.5 feet back. Right? So the position of your left foot is almost straight ahead. It's just slightly off to the side. So that can allow your left hip to turn towards the right foot. Lace up your fingers the opposite way, the non-habitual way behind your back. Then inhale to lift up your collarbones. And keep the front spine long as you reach your chin forward to come parallel towards the floor. Yes, and just fold over that right leg. Standing strong in the back leg. Taking that outer right hip back. And feel your low belly cinching in to help motivate your spine to pull down. It's like you're trying to do a headstand on your right big toe here. Hands to your hips, hug the elbows in, look up, stand up. Yep. Step your left foot all the way to the front. Let's do a little vinyasa to flush those two standing poses out. Inhale, stretch your arms. And exhale, we fold. Inhale, look out. Plant your palms, step or jump back. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, Adho. Shifting to plank. Swing your heels to the left. Reach your right arm up. Vashisthasana, side plank, left hand. Right. Place your right hand down, plank pose. Turn your heels to the right, reach your left arm up, side plank on that right palm. All right, place your left palm down, plank pose. Pull your hips back, downward facing dog. Step your right foot to the front. Yeah, drop the back knee down to the floor. Lift your arms straight up. We're in a low lunge. So let's find a little stretch for the front of this left hip here. So your hips, bring that pubic bone forward parallel towards the floor, and that's going to help to support your head going back. So it's like your head's going back equal to your hips going forward. You go up and to go back. You might even lace up your fingers, except that pointer finger up over your head, looking behind the thumbs. Really drive that pubic bone forward as you start to create this crescent shape over your back leg. All right, place your left hand down. Slice your right arm back behind you to catch that back ankle. So you bend the back knee, catch the ankle. So let's come out of the front leg. Let's bring your hips back a little bit. Really find that heel connected to your sit bone. Keep that as you let the hips just drip forward. You're going to feel that stretch run up the rectus femoris muscle, one of the quadriceps, the only quadricep that crosses the knee joint and the hip joint. It's a big one for a lot of us. Couple breaths here. Let the spine just slice through those shoulder blades, spreading apart. So do your best to keep that left foot frozen where it is, but let it go. Don't let that left foot move. Oh, yeah. All right, place it down. Right hand down. Pull your hips back. Half splits. Ardha, Hanumanasana. Yes. So, you want to think about going forward with the spine, right? Because the spine goes forward, it will start to go down. There you go. Keep reaching that spine forward. So you're trying to get your belly to the top of your right thigh, and then maybe the ribs will get to the top of your right thigh. Maybe the chest will one day get down there. Your head is the last thing to fall. Some of us might not even do that. A couple more breaths, just breathing some length into the back of your right leg. Let's re-bend your front leg and just, however you can step forward or backwards, we're just going to switch. However you like to switch, and step that left foot in between the hands, dropping the back knee down, stretching the arms up. A low lunge. You can point the back toes. So we've got all this surface area. We have a Shaquille O'Neal sized foot right now. The whole shin acts as a foot. Right. Very firmly driving that front heel down. Right. And try to lift your spine out of your pelvis. And you lift your arms up. And your pubic bone, front of your pelvis, is going to go forward parallel to the floor as your head goes back equal to your hips going forward. Really lift up the lower abdominal muscles. Up to go back. And it's over. Place your right palm down. Take your left hand towards your back foot. You can come out of the front leg to start, so you find that connection of the right heel and right sit bone. Keep that as you let the hips sink forward. Top shoulder rolls back. Yeah. We just breathe some space into the front of your right hip. So here's the fun part. Not letting your back foot move, not at all. You're just going to let it go. Hopefully you don't cramp up. Tends to happen sometimes. All right, place the right foot down. Place the left hand down. Right. And then pull your hips back so your right thigh bone is perpendicular to the floor. You can pull your front toes towards your shins. Dorsiflexion in the front foot. Getting some sensations into your calf muscles, the gastrocnemius, the soleus, slackening that Achilles tendon. And so we don't want to just round and round. You want to go get long first, go forward to go down. Engage in these postural muscles. There you go. Very luxurious breaths here. No warrior two today, no side angle pose, thank goodness. All right, so rebend the front leg, downward facing dog. Down, step back. All right, so inhale, come to plank pose. All right, so keep your feet how they are, and we're just gonna come into upward facing dog with your feet like this. So you really gotta commit to straightening your legs and lifting those inner thighs high. And then exhale, come right back to downward facing dog. Right. So the inhale is going to bring you right into up dog how we did it. Keeping the heels up, inhale, just roll right into the upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Same thing, inhale, up dog like that. Exhale, down dog. Plank pose. Lower to the floor all the way down. Point your toes back. So just your right leg's going to lift. Yep, like shoot it back behind you to lower it down. And just the left leg lifts, reach it back, lower it down. Lace up your fingers. Right. The center of your forehead can be on the mat. Right. Then lift your arms up. Push your feet down, lift your chest up. Yeah. So when your sacrum goes towards the heels, the weight should go towards the pubic bone and the legs are going to lift up. Yes. Now, not grabbing the ankles just yet, you're just going to bend your knees. So feel those hamstrings pull your heels towards the butt. Now, can you lift your knees up? This is so much harder than just grabbing your ankles and pulling on them. It's over. Bring your legs together. Bend your knees. So see if you can grab your ankles at the same time. It's pretty hard. Good. And we're just going to grow into the bow pose here. Right, so keeping the weight into the pubic bone. Right. Draw those shin bones back. Pull your feet into your hands. Open the front shoulders. Yes. There we go. Trying to get a lot of space here. Lift the crown of your head up. Lift the tops of your ears up. And then it's over. Release. Let it go. You can drop a cheek, look one way, maybe waggle your hips from side to side. We got to do a third one, unfortunately. So let's do a third one. Bring your legs together, bend your knees. So can you keep your forehead down as you grab the ankle? Small's got a long torso and short legs, so this is hard for him. Yep. So light up the feet. Pull your feet into the hands. Keep letting that sacrum go back towards the knees. Grow into it. Find your fullest expression. Yep, and it's over. Release. Look the opposite way. Bend your knees. And let the shins go left and right. Bring your legs together. Child's pose. Sit back on the heels. Just feel the effects of your practice thus far. Just sit behind your legs, bring your legs out in front of you. So both legs out in front, you're going to bend your right knee, place your right foot right outside of your left thigh. So if you can keep both of your sitting bones grounded, you can bend your left knee and come into the, that variation of the seated spinal twist we're about to get after. Right? So take both of your arms and just hug your right leg towards your torso. Get as tall as you can. And you can kickstand your right hand behind you. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Use your inhale to lift up. And then exhale, you can hook the left arm outside your right thigh. Yes. So we're on our sit bones. Sitting bones are often referred to as the feet of your pelvis. The sitting bones push down, that's going to lift up the lower back. And the lift that you find is going to help you facilitate this twist, bringing that right kidney right below that 12th bottom rib all the way around the back of your body into your left chest. If you want, you can look towards your right shoulder and give your best blue steel impression that you can do. So it's just the neck that turns as you look over your left shoulder. And then untangle the twist, let it go, untangle the legs, we'll switch. So left foot outside your right leg. So you're more than welcome to keep the right leg straight, right? If that's the only way that you can keep that left hip down, that left sit bone, there you go. Right, and just take both of your arms, hug the left thigh in towards your torso, bring the torso towards the left thigh. Right. And then you can kickstand the left hand behind you. Inhale, reach your right arm up. And exhale, twisting outside the left thigh. Think up to twist. And if you're at home and you notice that left hip hiking up towards your shoulder, just, do your best to keep that left hip dropping down. Looking all the way behind the left shoulder. Front body twists to the left, your back body's twisting to the right. It's like one of those barbershop signs you see. Not sure which way it's twisting. And then it's just your neck. You're just going to turn your gaze around the right shoulder. And get out of there. Let it go. Let the legs go. We're going to find pigeon pose on that right side. So pigeon pose. If pigeon pose is uncomfortable for your knee joints, you can always do figure 4 on your back, and you're more than welcome to really take any hip opener that you'd like to take here. There's a big buffet of them that you can choose from. But instead of really worrying about how far you can go. Just let your focus be on how still you can get. You want to block or anything? Are you good for your head? You good? You good? So let everything soften. Get really still. And let that stillness sort of translate into the mind a little bit. And just resisting any effort to contract as you switch sides. Just take it nice and slow, minimal effort to find your way into your left side Pigeon. Right leg's going straight back out of the hip. Just soften into it. So let's transition into a seat. That back leg's just going to sweep around to the front. So both legs straight out in front of you. Toes, kneecaps north. Circle your arms out. Big breath in to get you taller. And then reach your chin forward. Just fold right over yourself. So last pose before our last pose. So you're trying to get the belly down to the legs. If you get that, then your chest goes down towards the legs. Maybe, just maybe, the head falls. If you need to bend your knees, if your torso's like so far away from your legs, you're more than welcome to put a generous bend in your knees. Just let this turn your awareness inwards for this last pose we're about to do. You can just roll yourself up. Lie down on your back. Shavasana. Let your body rest. This is it. Turning towards your breath, bring some movements into the more distal parts of your limbs. That movement makes its way towards the more proximal parts. And stretch your arms back and reach your legs forward. Big breath in. Fill it all the way up. And a big sigh of relief. Bend your knees, hug your knees in. Roll off to either side. And you can use that top arm to walk yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Bring your palms to your heart. Close your eyes and just linger in the effects of your practice. Bow your head, lift your head, open your eyes. Namaste.